Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's talk about the modern inbox. If you're someone who regularly needs to connect with new people, whether that's for networking, drumming up sales, or building partnerships, you know firsthand that the inbox is a fiercely competitive battleground. I mean, grabbing someone's attention today, it is harder than ever. And usually, we end up falling into one of two pretty miserable traps. Mass emails, well, they feel like spam. And personal emails, they take absolutely forever to write. So what are you supposed to do if you need to reach out to hundreds of people without sounding like a total robot? Well, that is exactly what we're tackling today, the absolute holy grail in modern outreach. We are going to look at how to send personalized emails at scale. All right, let's dive right in. So we've all been stuck in this painful dilemma for years, right? On one hand, you've got mass emails. And look, we all know exactly what these feel like. They feel like spam. When you open your inbox and see a flood of generic, copy-pasted messages that start with, dear valued professional, your brain instantly filters it out. You delete it without a second thought, because let's be real, it clearly wasn't meant for you. You're just another row on a massive spreadsheet. But on the other hand, writing a highly tailored, deeply researched email, that works wonders. It builds immediate rapport, and it shows you actually took the time to understand the person you're messaging. But here's the catch, and it's a massive problem. Writing them takes an absolute eternity. You're essentially forced to choose between the terrible generic feeling of mass spam or the agonizing, completely unscalable reality of typing out individual emails all day long. It's just a lose-lose situation that throttles your growth and honestly, just burns you out. But this is where everything changes. What if you didn't have to choose? You just let AI do both. Personalized at scale. Just let that sink in for a second. For the longest time, personalization and scale were on completely opposite ends of the spectrum. If you wanted high volume, you had to sacrifice quality. If you wanted high quality, you had to kiss volume goodbye. It was basically an ironclad rule of outreach. But by leaning into AI, you don't have to choose anymore. You actually get the high-volume output of a mass campaign, but with the intricate, thoughtful touch of a handcrafted message. The technology handles both the personalization and the volume simultaneously. It completely breaks you out of that old, frustrating trap, turning what used to be an either-or scenario into a massive, undeniable competitive advantage. Because let's be totally honest here. Writing 100 custom emails? No, that is completely unrealistic for your schedule. Just imagine waking up on a Monday morning, looking at your to-do list, and realizing your main task for the day is to sit down, research, and individually draft 100 completely unique custom emails. You'd spend hours just hunting down company details, trying to figure out the right hook for each person, agonizing over every single word, and let's face it, you'd probably abandon the whole project halfway through. And yet, we know that people instinctively ignore generic messages. The modern professional's inbox is incredibly noisy, and anything lacking a custom touch goes straight to the trash bin. So you desperately need those 100 emails to be uniquely tailored, but doing it manually is a severe human bottleneck. You simply do not have the hours in the day. And this is exactly where artificial intelligence steps in. AI bridges that gap, period. It acts as the missing link between the quality you absolutely need to get an actual response and the sheer quantity you need to actually grow your network or your business. It's the purpose-built tool designed to instantly cross this frustrating divide. It literally takes all the heavy lifting out of the equation for you. So instead of you spending 10 to 15 minutes per email, poring over professional profiles and company websites just to craft one perfect opening line, the AI does that heavy lifting for you in seconds. It fundamentally changes the math of your daily outreach. It allows you to operate at the breakneck speed of software while somehow maintaining the nuance and warmth of a real human conversation. Okay, so the million-dollar question: how do we actually do this? Let's walk step by step through a super crisp, actionable 4-phase system to automate your outreach. Step 1. Create your base email. Now, you aren't letting the AI run totally wild here. You still maintain complete control over the core message, your value proposition, and the main point you're trying to make. You establish that strong foundation. Then, step 2, feed the AI your list of recipients and the context. Think of this as the fuel for the engine. You give the AI your contacts along with the specific background info they actually care about, who they are, what their company does, maybe a recent milestone they hit. Okay, step 3. Ask it to personalize each message. Guys, this is where the magic happens. The machine takes your base email from step 1, mixes it with that rich context from step 2, and instantly generates a unique, beautifully tailored variation for every single person on your list. And finally, step 4, review and send in batches. You are still the editor-in-chief. You just do a quick, high-level scan, make sure everything sounds natural and sounds like you, and then you hit send. It is a brilliant, highly practical workflow that literally removes all the friction from outreach. So what actually happens when you follow those 4 steps? The results are huge. First off, higher open rates. Because your emails no longer look like those generic blasts with robotic subject lines, people actually open them. They feel like you're speaking directly to them. Second, more replies. When a message is genuinely customized to someone's specific context and acknowledges their unique situation, they are way more compelled to engage and write back. The conversation actually gets off the ground. And third, and honestly maybe the most important one for your own sanity, way less time. You achieve a level of quality that used to take days of grueling manual labor, and you're knocking it out in a matter of minutes. It is a triumphant total resolution to that exact frustration we talked about at the start. You get significantly better results, and you actually get your day back. So, now that you know how to master the inbox, and you've seen firsthand how AI can personalize your initial outreach at total scale, what comes next? Well, think about it. AI sales scripts. Once you start getting those higher open rates and all those increased replies, you have to actually have the conversation, right? So, are you ready to let AI take over the actual follow-up dialogue? I mean, if we can automate the initial email so perfectly, how much of the ongoing script can be dynamically generated to match a prospect's exact needs and responses in real time? It's a wildly fascinating frontier, and it's absolutely the natural next step in scaling how we communicate. Thanks so much for joining me in this explainer. Go ahead and start applying these 4 steps to your workflow today, and just watch your inbox completely transform.